What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy Next Gen 720, and I am back with another video. Yeah. Maybe now you guys will understand what I've been saying for the last year and a half. That Sony of the old, that old brass, that old regime is no more. Their mediocrity is their greatness now, you know. I know I'm older than a lot of you guys. Let's take a walk with me down memory lane. I remember 1994. I'm lying. 1995. November, December. I bought me the PlayStation 1. And like I said, I'm gonna tell you something. I didn't even know Sony was making the system. I walked into EBX Games in the mall, in Livingston Mall, New Jersey, and I went to buy the Sega Saturn. You know, I didn't even know Sony was making a console, and I've always been a Sega dude, but I picked the PlayStation over the Sega Saturn. I ended up getting the Sega Saturn too, you know, the following week. You know, I've always been a multi-console owner, but I was like, because Sony was the brand. Sony was the shit. Sony was the Apple, the Samsung back then. But, I remember, like, my first games were, I had the Mortal Kombat, I had Battle Radio Tashina, and I had Tekken, Ridge Racer, I had Wipeout, Twisted Metal, Destruction Derby. I had bought mad games, Then I had to go back to the mall and buy another controller, because it only came with one controller. Then I had to get the RF switch, to play it on channel 3, old school. But anyway, like I said, I was a PlayStation dude. And then, I got the PS2. And I remember the first E3 thing that I saw was E3 2000, when Sony showed all those ducks in the tub. Like I said, Sony has always been great showsmen. Their show has always been great. They always promised and under-delivered. They showed all these ducks in the tub and said, we're going to have these Pixar-type graphics on the PlayStation 2. The thing was called the Emotion Engine or something. Of course, we didn't see that, but... And like I said, and the PlayStation 2 was genius because that was my first DVD player. Like I said, it's like I give Sony credit, they always push the technology. When I got my PlayStation 1, that's what made me start getting music CDs. I can put the CD inside, because I was buy tapes, I can put the CD inside the console, take Wipeout or take Ridge out, and I'll let the music play in Onyx or something while I'm, driving my car games. So, like I said again, so the PlayStation, like I said, what made the PS2 so great was all of these multi-plats, Devil May Cry, Grand Theft Autos, all those games, they were exclusive to the PlayStation. Even though they did come out on the original Xbox, but it was a year later, 6 months later, you understand? All these great multi-plats were, multi-plats now, all these third-party games were exclusive to the PlayStation, back in the 6th generation. Like I said, then PlayStation came out. I'm sorry, not PlayStation. Then Xbox Live came out, and I've been on the Xbox since. I'm more of a social dude, but just think about some of the great games that Sony had. Parasite Eve, the action game from Sub-Zero, that was a classic. I forgot the name of it. That was a great game. Siphon Filter. I remember, man, PlayStation was so great. They had their own football, and it was better than Madden. They had Game Day, Game Breaker. Their basketball was an inside drive. Like Sony had it going on, man. Like, being real, their football was better than Madden back in the day, you know what I mean? But they had all the Metal Gear, with the 2 discs, and they had all these great games. But, like I said before, that Sony of the old, weird, quirky games like Parappa Rapper the Rapper. I keep mentioning that. A lot of you guys don't know what the hell that is, but all these, The Getaway, they had all these great games. You know what I mean? And like Sony, like they couldn't miss, But that Sony, like I said, that old regime is gone. It's no more. The father of the PlayStation, Ken Kutaragi, he's out of there, And when he left, like, to me, the their level of, like, usually, I guess they had a high standard. They just lowered the bar. The PlayStation 4 came out in 2013. They don't have not one must-have game exclusive. Not one. You launched the console with knack. If Ken Kutaragi was still there, ain't no way in hell that would have happened. Come on, Killzone. Sony got comfortable. They used to be leaders. Then they just want to bite. You know, they want to bite the next big thing. You know what I mean? Like they bit off the weed with the nunchucks and stuff. You know, and then they had to have their halo. You don't need a halo. You just, do what you do best. You guys got God of War. That's great. You know what I mean? You don't need a halo. Then they got stuck on trying to make the next big shooter. You know, they had all these resistance, all these, mag and all this shit. Like, no, that's not what you do, Sony. Then the launch of the PlayStation 4. You got Knack. You got Killzone. Jesus Christ. It's like, come on. You know what I mean? Is this what we're working with here? So like I said, me personally, I have the PS4, so I was looking forward for a great game to play. I had high hopes for the order. And I got the chance to play it today for a little while, about 30 minutes. And out of that 30 minutes, I say actually 6 minutes, I was actually me controlling the man. Very pretty game. But if it would be a much better game if they let you do, like I was fighting the boss. My son had. I went to his dorm and was doing the werewolf thing. I shot like 2 times and the computer took over. You know what I mean? Then it was a cutscene. Like the greatest parts of the game, they don't let you do it for yourself. So, but like I said, if the Sony of the old, you never would have had a game like the Order 1886. This is their greatness right now. This is the best Sony has to offer. It's Knack, Drive Club, the Order 1886. I mean, they're getting stomped out right now by the competition. Don't get me wrong; they're winning. Like they say, the quote unquote, they winning the console race, the war, but they're losing the battle. Even Nintendo is putting out better games than, and I don't care for Nintendo games, but they're great games that their fans like. But come on, who the hell was asking for Knack? You will give us Knack, but you won't give us the Getaway Part 2. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, I understand because they're hurting financially, but it's so bad that, you know what I mean? Now they're giving us another Final Fantasy VII, not remastered from the ground up. No, just say Final Fantasy is going to say it's 1080p. You understand what I'm saying? This is what you got. We got another exclusive, Project Z, coming for the PlayStation 4. So some shit like Bob the Builder. This is what the PlayStation 4 has to look forward to. I'm serious. Now, okay. Like, I'm just being real. Like, the order was a huge letdown. A huge. You guys went the whole holiday season. All you kept saying was the order. The order. The order. Now, you had Little Big Planet 3. No one was asking for that. You had Drive Club this holidays. That was it, right? And then it came, in February, so you guys were getting these great games. The order. Wow. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The Bloodborne, I'm not in the dungeon crawlers. But they make it so hard, like the first one, Demon Soldiers, you got to go so far before you be able to save it. I'm not even buying that. I mean, I enjoy it. I mean, the game ain't got to be easy, but I'm not with that. You know what I mean? I hope that they put save points, throughout the game where you can, if you die, you can pick up right where you left off at. If not, I'm not even buying that. So what else they got coming out? Until Dead or Until Dawn, which was a PlayStation Move game, and it got put over to the PlayStation 4. Yo, it's gonna be a rough year for Sony again. Look what your competition has coming out. Nintendo, whether you like them or not, they got their Zelda coming out, Xenoblade coming out. So that's big for their fan base. You know what I mean? That's big for them. Well, look at your biggest rival, Microsoft. They got Tomb Raider, Halo 5, Quantum Break, Scalebound. You hear what I'm saying? Quantum Break, Scalebound, Killer Instinct Season 3. You understand what I'm saying? State of Decay, Battletoads, Forza 6. Here the Xbox gave you three quality races. Forza 5, Forza Horizon 2, and now Forza 6. And all you came up with was one game, Drive Club, that's struggling. Like, come on, you guys gotta see right now, man, that if you're a PlayStation fan right now, an only owner, and you don't own the Xbox or anything else, I know you're like, damn, I done bet on the wrong horse. No pun intended, man, But like I said, the Sony of the old guys is no more, man. There is no more greatness. The order, that is their greatness. That's what you waited a year and a half for. This game been pushed back several times. This is what you guys got to look forward to. That's it. And this is just not a troll video. I'm just like I said, I take you about. I just want you guys to understand. I know when I say things, sometimes it might come off like me being a troll and me being funny. Nah, I'm telling you. I'm telling you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. You know what I mean? If you could see right now, and you could choose between the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, come on, the Xbox One has the better exclusive. Look what the Xbox came out with: Titanfall, Sunset Overdrive, Forza Horizon 2, Forza 5. Killer Instinct. Let me keep going. Rise, whether you love it, great game. I liked it, whether you love it, you know what I mean? You mean Dead Rising 3, you know? And D4, and all these other little, like I said, but at the end of the day, like, it's not even, like I said, it's not even comparable, man. It's not, man. You know, and like I said, it's going to keep getting worse and worse with Sony, man. Like I said, the father of the PlayStation, he's not there anymore, man. It's not. So they don't have a bar, like, you know what I mean? Everything is mediocre right now with Sony, man. It is, man. It's sad to say, man. Wait for greatness, and we waited, and you give us the order 1886. Wow, first party game. This sucks, man. But anyway, it's your boy Nexus 720. Let me know what you think down below. Do you think Sony can ever get back to where they once were, to a level of greatness? Me, I don't think so. It is what it is. Bang, bang.